I joined Jai Bharat Maruti Limited and basically as a shop floor supervisor. Also, I had the dual role of increasing the productivity of the production as well as increasing the sales. So I have authored a book which is Success in SAP Consulting, and basically it will help business. Every organization in the sphere is looking at it doing better every day.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. My name is Tane Hall, and I'm an anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry veterans to come together to share their knowledge, ideas, thoughts, and best practices with one another, as well as with upcoming industry leaders. We have one such industry heavyweight on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Mr. Rahul Mathur. We welcome you on the show, sir.
Thank you.
Since August 2020, he has been giving his service as the Associate Director for SAP MTD at PepsiCo Global Business Services LLP, leading the SAP implementation for PepsiCo's global template across multiple regions, including North America, the UK, and South Africa. So, sir, could you let our viewers know in brief about your career journey so far?
Sure. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Well, my career started 2.5 decades ago, uh, basically in 99, when I did my Bachelor of Engineering. I completed my Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical. I joined Jai Bharat Maruti Limited and basically as a shop floor supervisor. Jai Bharat Maruti was a company who was an OEM supplier to Maruti Udyog. They had their 2 and 3 plants all around India, all around Delhi, and I was basically working into the area of shop floor, right? So having experience of 2 years there, I thought that I would like to join a management role in Jai Bharat Maruti and others. So I enrolled myself into an MBA program. I completed that in 2003 and then moved on to join SMSDMAC, right? The posting was in Germany, and in Germany, I was able to kind of experience the best in class of engineering best practices, right? So, having seen all the best in best class of engineering, right, which happens, I came back to India, joined Shades of India Crafts Private Limited. I was assigned a role of implementing and basically, outsourcing and shifting to a new ERP solution. Also, I had the dual role of increasing the productivity of the production as well as increasing the sales for this export-oriented unit, right? So this was in around 2007, 2008. Then, because of the experience in enterprise resource planning with my learnings in MBA, I thought that why not move a shift to an IT career, right? So you never cease to learn, right? So that was my time. So I learned SAP. I and then as soon as I learned my SAP, I got my opportunity with IBM India, and thereafter with IBM India and Capgemini in between, and then again in IBM, I had been fortunate enough to handle a lot of business clients like Nestlé, Infosys, Pfizer, then Arkema, then ATG Tires and Panasonic, to name a few. They have been in all different industry verticals. I have supported them and helped them build the SAP solution for them in the area of supply chain. With this expertise of mine, right, I was able to kind of command a good expertise at the senior architect level. I now currently I am with PepsiCo Global Business Services, working as an associate director. I'm working in the area of solution governance, which is basically an IT governance role, which basically deals with all all the all the deployments which are happening in PepsiCo. You need to kind of uh, go through a comprehensive governance model in order to even kind of design or implement a solution. So I'm playing that role for the last 4 years, and here am I now.
So, what are some of the biggest achievements and contributions in your professional life?
Well, as a professional, I get a high when I'm able to deliver a complex and big engagement, right? Uh, Also, solving a big complex problems is basically something which I love doing, right? So, there are some business problems related to the business process or the systems which are kind of perennial, right? Somewhere, it has not been solved, right? One such example which come to my light is when I was consulting for Panasonic, right? They had implemented SAP 2, 3 years back, and in 2018, I I went there. I was asked to kind of look into the issue of just-in-time Kanban. They implemented just-in-time Kanban while in SAP implementation 2 years back, and then but it was not working, right? The business was not getting a value out of it. So I was basically assigned the task to kind of improve for that plant in Jharkhand and Gurgaon to improve that just-in-time Kanban and look and see. So basically, it entailed, going to the root of the problem, understanding the problem, dealing with all the stakeholders which were there who drafted that problem statement, and basically looking at the length and the breadth of the solution, right, which had been implemented. And basically, with that in scope, I was able to solve that business problem, and it was a great achievement. To say there was lots of proud moments at Jharkhand plant in Panasonic. Apart from that, as a professional in a SAP, I get, whenever a plant goes live, right? If you have implemented SAP and a plant goes live, it gives a real impetus, and basically it 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 gives a real satisfaction when you see a plant goes live without a hitch, right? I have been associated with Pfizer when I was consulting for them, and we had this Aurangabad plant which had gone live. So it was a really stepping stone in my career, right? To see that plant going live, right? It was a real tough uh, a 10, 12 moment in order to map that business requirement, put that into SAP, right, out of nowhere, and then getting that first day of run in SPI. That gives. Currently, also in PepsiCo, I have been fortunate enough to be part of that area. I have seen many plants gone live in the Frito-Lay's business of PepsiCo for North America, and that gives an immense satisfaction, right? The last thing, basically, I have, based upon my experience, I thought, why not? I do something for the generations, right? So I have authored a book, which is Success in SAP Consulting, and basically it will help business beginners and the intermediates who want to get into an expert mode into SAP, to get into that bandwagon of SAP, right? So
So,
yeah,
given the various SAP implementation projects you've handled, what are some of the biggest challenges you faced and how did you overcome them?
okay. Yeah, as in all projects, one of the key challenges we need to overcome is to understand the business requirement of the customer. Not at all times is the requirement very clear and transparent enough in order to kind of get into a solution space, right? So the challenge is how to overcome those, right? What is the method to kind of overcome those, right? There is a saying already, right? You don't know what you don't know, right? So based on these principles, my endeavor has already always been to understand the different realms of the problem, right? Involving the customer or involving the stakeholders who have presented the problem at the first place, right? It is like peeling one layer after the other, right? And getting to the core of that business problem, right? So that's what I see as the one of the biggest challenges which we overcome on a day in, day out basis.
So, when did you realize your need to expand your work purview with ESG and corporate governance?
Well, I'm doing my part of corporate governance already in PepsiCo. Uh, so basically, the role which I'm currently playing with PepsiCo deals with solution governance in the information technology space in SAP, right? we have this PepsiCo global template which is being implemented all across the globe. This is the biggest SAP implementation project ever undertaken by SAP in the world, right? So this solutions governance piece is basically I'm already doing, which basically is all about every business problem or requirement needs to go through a comprehensive governance process, right? In order to be validated, authenticated, and then only approved, and then basically make it ready for implementation, right? So I think so. The governance of the corporate governance in the technology was already there in my previous experience, right? From the ESG point of view, ESG is something which is always very close to my heart. ESG is based on certain pillars, which I think are the core values, which I also resonate against, right? Resonate with. These are, being fair, being transparent, being good to the planet, and yet be answerable to the people who you are working for, or working with, or living with, right? That is what ESG to me means, right? I have been fortunate enough in my previous and present organization to be part of many of those activities involving ESG, right? Like helping the communities in education, imparting knowledge, right, to the less privileged, and I will continue to do so in that space.
As an ESG and corporate governance expert, what values do you bring to the table?
Spanning a career of 20 years and working in a governance role, I bring the governance expertise along with deep industry knowledge, right? So, uh, deep industry knowledge in all across industry verticals in the area of manufacturing and supply chain. Having worked as a senior architect and worked with different industries in different verticals, I have seen the best in best practices, right? In the organization, I can evaluate the business operations and supply chain and provide suitable recommendations for improving sustainability and reducing the company's overall business impact.
So, what changes do you expect to see with the advent of IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, cloud, digital twin, big data, and Web 3.0?
Yeah, surely these are very exciting times. Every organization is embracing themselves to the new changes in the solution landscape, in the technology landscape, right? Organizations are conducting hackathons, are encouraging ideation, encouraging new ideas, involving this. I think so. It's very exciting times in for all the organization I have been part with. I think so. Uh, they have been fast adopters, right? Some organizations can be fast adopters, some can be late adopters, but I have been fortunate to be part of those fast adopters. For example, IBM, right? These fast adopters are also the organization who are basically shaping the industry landscape as such, right? Uh, so what I see currently vis-a-vis something in the past is there is a shift in the mindset in the organization and the people or the employees who are there in the organization. Every problem the employees are seeing, they are seeing from not only from resolving that the problem. It is all they also have an angle of which best technology I can in order to alleviate that problem, right? This was not existing 10 years ago, right? I see this as a major shift when all these technologies are available to us in order to propel us to do better at what we are, right? Every organization in the sphere is looking at it doing better every day, right?
Mm.
And either it is through the ideation process, it is through a new product, introductions, everything basically is centered around these new technologies, right? I think so the time has come that these technologies within the ambit of there will be more innovations in the times to come. And not only within the organization, I see that in the next decade, uh, it, there would be a shift in how the consumers would be interacting with the suppliers of goods and services by using these technologies. I think
Mm.
so. This would be something of a paradigm shift, which we would see. It would not be a kind of something which would happen instantaneously, but it will take its own course of time, but it eventually will happen.
So we're building a community here of industry magnates. The move is meant for cross-pollination of knowledge and building a knowledge-sharing community of corporate giants and industry experts. What are your thoughts about this initiative taken by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Heval Mehta, and the whole World Development Corporation team?
Yeah, it has been a real privilege in associating with World Development Corporation and Zishan Pathan and Heval Mehta. I think so. The contribution of Zishan Pathan, Heval Mehta has been immense, right? You know, the community which has been developed, right? This is a basically a knowledge superhouse, right? You can understand anything about corporate governance, right? You know about the boardroom practices, the do's and the don'ts, the ESG, and all the multi facets of the corporate governance, right? This kind of a industry benchmark was never there in the industry. I think so. This is a very welcome move. I think this move would be welcomed by each and every industry because this is the need of the ask as of now. And I think so, our aspiring independent directors, executive and non-executive directors as well, would see this as a benchmark to kind of, accomplish and move forward.
Great, sir. It was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that your insights will truly inspire future leaders. Thank you so much once again for joining us today, sir, and wish you the best for future endeavors.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.